Welcome to Horror Score. This is a special episode. We're your hosts, Jesse and
Vanessa.
And this week's episode for Halloween is
Trick or Treat.
And for the first time on Horror Score, we have a Blu-ray. Normally, they're cheap $3 DVDs, sometimes more, sometimes they were gifts. But here it is in its red clamshell. A little bit about that real quick. It doesn't come in a red clamshell. I was very upset when I bought the Avengers 2 Age of Ultron Blu-ray and it came in a red box. And then I realized very shortly after how cool Trick or Treat looked in the red Blu-ray box. So I switched them. My Marvel collection looks great. Trick or Treat looks even better.
Just giving the viewers a little insight on some of your quirks and neuroses.
You know, I didn't want our viewers being like, where the heck did he get that red one?
He'd be so distracted by those Marvel movies not being the same color. Woke up at 3 a.m. because he couldn't take it anymore. Had a bad dream. Had to go switch out the clamshells.
If we've done our math correctly, this will be airing the Friday, the day before Halloween. So we're airing this one out of order. We had like 20 episodes ready to go. You may have noticed my mustache is gone. Don't worry, it will return for the next several episodes and then eventually leave again, obviously.
And then eventually, hopefully, come back.
Maybe. I mean, who knows? Before we start reviewing this movie, horror score style, I just wanted to give a nod to our friends who have started a horror podcast called Make Me Shudder, where they're reviewing every movie on the Shudder streaming service, which we use all the time. And they're reviewing them alphabetically from A to Z. And you can catch them on Spotify or the Apple Podcasts were available. So check them out.
Yeah.
Now, Vanessa.
This is my first watch before we get into scoring.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I put the pause button on watching this for many years, apparently. And it just seemed like a good time to do it, finally.
I was very excited. This is one of my favorite times of year. And this movie is only better during the holidays, during the Halloween season. Mm-hmm. I think that this movie captures and bottles the spirit of Halloween perfectly. Very few movies do as such a good job. Ernest Scared Stupid does. So please, Vanessa, would you take us into story?
I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
So the writer and director was Michael Dougherty.
Yeah.
A nice little Irish name.
He's brought us Krampus. And Godzilla King of Monsters. Gojira.
So I gave story a 10. I think so. It's broken up into 5 stories. Yep. It's an anthology, so there's 5 stories in it. I think all 10 points go basically to 2 of those stories in particular. It was a really slow start for me because I couldn't really get my feet in it all the way. I didn't understand if it was supposed to be more of like a comedy. It didn't feel like it was taking itself very seriously at first, so I didn't know whether or not it was actually going to be like a scary movie. But there was a bus short with some kids and an old man short at the end that were my absolute favorites. And 2 that you actually get to see the Sam villain, which I'll talk about more that in that actual category. There were 3 of the shorts that basically just failed for me. Didn't like them at all. There was maybe like a redeemable moment or 2, but it was really those 2 shorts for me that were great. At one point in Anna Paquin's short, which was my least favorite, she says, "This is my first time," and I cringed so hard. It hurt. Like my face hurt from cringing so much in that moment. Other than that, I love Anna Paquin, so.
I think this is her best work. This is my favorite Anna Paquin movie or show, anything she's ever done. This is my favorite. You
don't watch True Blood.
It's true. It is true.
Almost Famous. She plays like an underage groupie prostitute. Come on.
Well, I gave Story a 15. I enjoyed all 5 of the shorts. I think that they are well done and they are intertwined masterfully. Even if you don't like all of these shorts, like you didn't love all of them,
Most of them.
each of them finds a way to touch on all of the other stories because this is all happening in the same town, the same couple of streets on Halloween night. And I would have a very tough time ranking them. I enjoyed all of them very much.
You did rank them though.
I did
we
rank them.
compared our rankings, like a blind ranking, and our favorites were like inverted. Like my least favorite was your favorite, my favorite was your least favorite. It was nuts, and it was almost the end.
But I don't want to rank them. If you're taking a bunch of something that you like, and it's like telling a parent, put your 4 children in order to the which ones you like the most to the least.
I just always thought that would be easy.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I take that back. A lot of parents probably can, but they're not allowed to. They're like, I love all my children
Now
equally.
our cats,
Right.
impossible task. They're
Right.
all so unique.
So again, this movie, if you haven't seen it, this is the perfect time of year to watch it. I enjoy it year round, but I try to watch it every October, and I didn't watch it last year. So I've been going without, and it felt great to sit down, finally give this movie a watch after accidentally skipping it last year. There just wasn't enough time. We do an event called 31 in 31, where we watch 31 horror movies in the 31 days or more. Last year was like 39, and the year before I got to 50. I got to 50 horror movies in the month of October. You pretty much do that by doing nothing but sitting at home on your butt watching horror movies.
Yeah, he hurt his back.
He did. He hurt his back, poor guy. He called out of work for 4 days that
They don't
week.
need to know that. Tell us about the villain, though.
All right, I will tell you about the villain. This villain, Sam, I think you would be hard-pressed to find a villain that has only ever had one movie besides Jack Skellington or Beetlejuice that is more iconic. He caught on real fast, and he wasn't even over-merchandised. He was an instant classic. Additionally, he does only appear in 2 of the stories, and they each have their own villains. So though Sam is by far the strongest villain, there are other villains in the movie as well. I'm not going to get into all of them, but there's a wonderful high school or middle school principal, Principal Stephen Wilkins, that's very quirky and interesting in his own way. But I gave villain a 16. And I stand by that. The villains in this movie are great. What'd you give it, Vanessa?
I gave villain a 14, which was my highest category.
Ooh, that's it.
Pardon?
Carry on.
I just thought he was adorable, first of all. He's so cute. And this is what I love in a villain. You have to have clearly defined rules, and you have to follow them to a T. It's exactly what he does. I wanted more of him. Like you said, he was only in 2 of the shorts, and I was like, screw this principal. Like, screw all these weird women. Like, give me
more
give me
Sam.
more Sam.
And I did misspeak. He is in more of them, but he's only in 2 of them.
He kind of
you know?
transitions.
Yeah, you could see him in the
segments.
background walking by. So
Carrying his little wagon.
yeah, in his little
wagon,
dragging his little
pumpkin.
bag. Yeah, his little cute bag. But the good news is you're likely going to get to see more Sam because Trick or Treat 2 has been rumored for like 9 years, and it seems like it's finally happening. The director did Krampus afterwards and then got tied up in this big Godzilla project, but now it seems like Michael Dougherty is going to be moving forward. The IMDb page is there. There's nothing listed. There's no synopsis, but they broke ground. You want to cover the next category? We're going to start with horror.
There were some fun kills. Like, if you're going to have a fun little villain like Sam, he's so naughty. If you're going to have a villain like Sam, you have to have fun kills. He has, like, a lollipop as a weapon. Like, how adorable is that? At one point, there's a head-o-lantern. But there's a lot of nice kind of physical, fun gore stuff, but it wasn't like scary. You know, I don't think it took itself too seriously in the spook zone.
It like I think that they did a good job writing it, but then they had fun when they were filming it. Like they took it seriously on paper, but then when they got there, I felt like they were like, let's just make a good, fun Halloween movie. I agree with you.
I don't know, like two of those stories, like the ones I really enjoyed, the one with the old man and the one with the kids on the bus, I feel like really had some very scary potential, and they were to a certain level. But I gave it 12 points regardless.
It's funny that you bring that up. Like, I never felt like that it was a comedy so much as like a feel-good horror movie, if that makes any sense. But it's billed like on IMDb. It says horror comedy. I don't find a lot of comedy in it besides that I'm just enjoying watching this Halloween. I don't know. It's very strange and hard to explain.
This is my first time.
I gave it 15 out of 20 on horror. And part of the reason is these 5 stories, you get very different stories in this horror anthology. It touches on a little bit of everything. You want undead monsters? You got them. You want a serial killer? You got it. You want, want some more classic monsters like, I don't want to ruin anything, but there's lots of other types of monsters in this. And the stories are very different. Good little revenge story in there too. So I gave it 15. I stand by that. I'm very happy with the 15. Almost gave it a 16.
Well, let's see how many bonus points you gave effects category.
All right. I'll take us into effects. Effects was my lowest category. Not that the effects are bad. It's just that I rated the other categories a lot higher. I gave effects a 12. And we do get some great sets. We get some great gore. We get some great vomit. Body parts, transformations from shapeshifters. But overall, I felt that a 12 was like, yeah, it's above average. But at the same time, there wasn't anything... I liked the Halloween town, like the feel. They did a good job setting up yard decorations. So I'm going to turn that over to you. Why don't you tell us how you felt about the effects?
More points than you did.
All right, that's okay.
I gave it 13 points. Just right away, there's this kid puking chocolate and blood, and it's awful. It's it bothered me a lot, which is a good thing. You want to bother and gross out your audience. But like you said, it was a great Halloween town. It felt very much like we grew up in New England, having like New England Falls.
New England Falls are the best. Spooky
trees and graveyards, and everybody taking it very seriously because of the history here. And I feel like they captured that. And it definitely it is a higher budget Halloween movie, and it felt like that. So the composer Douglas Pipes, his score, it's like a creepy like little girl singing like la 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 la, like that worked. It added to the Halloween atmosphere.
You know what, you're right. I'm gonna change my 12 to a 13. It's done. You swayed me. I'm going to give it one more point. The chocolate vomit fountain is pretty solid, and the Halloween town is very memorable. Yeah. Do you
want to do S?
You want me?
I'll do S.
You can do S. Please take us into the S factor, where we can award this movie up to 20 bonus points for whatever reasons, as long as we justify it.
Sometimes you don't even have to justify it. You just be like, 20. Drop the mic, walk away. So you're right. But this got a 10 S factor points for me. Taking into account that it's an anthology movie, it's really important, and I don't feel like a lot of them do it, to tie the stories together well. And not only just in the plot of the different stories where they tied together well, but also just how they transitioned from story to story was really smart and seamless, and it didn't feel like I was being taken out of the movie ever. Whenever I was just being transitioned into another story, it was never like this hard stop. Like, okay, now you're in the story. I think it was really seamless.
You know, I'll just piggyback on that. I gave it 13 more horror score points for just, it has rewatchability. You can watch this movie again and again and start noticing things that you didn't notice before, like someone walking by from a previous story earlier in the night before they were killed. They all overlap so often. There is one that I read online that I'm not going to spoil. If you've seen the movie a couple of times, thinking about the way that it ends, the final story, apparently you can see those events going down near the beginning of the movie across the street. I missed it and I didn't read it until after I watched this again for I'm going to say this was my 8th or 9th watch of this movie.
But then even during the first watch of it, I was able to see one of those kind of things, so...
Yeah, there's just so many of them that I definitely did not catch them all, and I probably still haven't.
He loves Pokemon.
That's a lie. I am too old for Pokemon. I don't hate Pokemon. I don't want to lose any viewers. They'll be like, this guy hates Pokemon, we're done. No, I don't hate Pokemon. I was like 40 when Pokemon came out, so...
Oh, did it come out this year?
So before we total these up, before we go to these scorecards, we are going to do Vanessa's one-sentence synopsis about Trick or Treat.
Yeah, hit it, Funky Cat. Trick or Treat must be a decent film to keep hopeful fans on the line for a sequel for 14 years. I'm sure it'll happen. I'm sure it'll be great.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, here we are. I'm going to tell you, I gave this movie, and I think this is the most points that I have given a movie. I think by 1 point so far. I gave Trick or Treat 72 horror score points. Love this movie.
As opposed to what other kind of points?
I don't know.
I gave it 59.
What's that combined average of those?
65.5.
That was some good fast math.
Thank you.
So there you have it. There's that. Couple of reminders. We have we got an email address if you want to contact us for any reason. If you want us to hate mail, have us review a movie that you made, or you really want to see an episode about a weird, obscure movie that maybe we've never heard of. If you want to mail us gifts for the set, or for whatever reason, we are horrorscorereview@gmail.com.
And follow our weekly posts on Twitter, with our tag name being @ScoreHorror.
All right. Well, that pretty much wraps everything up. I'm definitely going to watch this movie again and again. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. But in the future...
I'd definitely watch it again. If that second one comes out, I'll do a second watch through.
I have a feeling that even if Trick or Treat 2 is delayed for another couple of years, that you might have to watch this with me again at some point.
And you know what? I would do it. I would do it to look for those fun little transitions.
So, yeah, give us 15 minutes. We might save you 2 hours. We'll see you next time.
Stay spooky.